Welcome to Golf in the Cosmos, where physics meets the fairway and the universe takes a swing at your mind. I'm Kevin, and we got the OG Andrew here. What's up, man?
Yo, stoked to have a little OG match here on the pod. But yeah, happy to be here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got a little smoke moving in the background too. A little upgrade to our studio here.
Sick.
But yeah, man. How's your golf been?
It's been interesting. It's been up and down. It's funny because I'd say this summer just wasn't performing my best, wasn't getting out there as much. But had a great round this past weekend. Shot two under 68 at Mesa Linda.
That
It
was
was one of
great
those
on
days.
Friday. That was a great round.
Yeah,
Would we play
what a
with like an
gift.
83-year-old
Yeah,
and like a 78-year-old? Such
yeah.
great gentlemen, man.
Yep, those are the guys you want to get paired up with at 9:30 a.m. You know, there's just a good matchup there. It was nice to have them.
It really was. It was refreshing to see how they kept the ball in front of them, and then how they still
Yeah,
gave us the space to shoot. Your 68, my 78.
yeah,
Right, we were at Mesa
yeah,
Linda, and then you were the low gross round of the week, I think, on the
yeah,
on the Grint, at least, out of like 70, 80 people who
yeah. I think I
posted.
got that twice this year. Can't remember which week before, but you shoot a score in the 60s, and out of anyone who submits it on the Grint, you can be the top score, and it's called the King of the Course on the Grint. And I think out of 80 something rounds, got the low score of the week. So
Yeah, I want to give
stoked on
a
that.
shout out to the app, the Grint. That's Grint. It's a great app to track yardages, but it also has a great social aspect, in the sense that it's comparing you to everyone that played the course that week. There's going to be a king of the course for net and a king of the course for gross every week, at essentially every course,
Yeah.
that has some grinters playing it. So shout out to the Grint. I mean, that's we kind of fell into it a few, 5, 6 years ago, and it's just been the way it gives stats, the social aspect, the notifications when
Yeah.
you birdie, par train. Just big shout out to the Grint. Those guys are killing it. From it's not overkill, but I really think they're doing it the best out there. Shout out to the
Yeah.
Grint.
Yeah, they make it really easy to track stats, work with a GIN, and I basically think the main competitor is 18 birdies,
Yep.
is one I've heard a lot of people use, and I think it's like a Venmo versus Apple Cash kind of thing,
Yeah.
or one of those other payment apps. It's like once you pick one, you're kind of in it, and that's where your bankroll is in the Venmo world. And on golf apps, it's really like that's where your data is, and so they're kind of keeping you in there nicely with some good analysis. Can really help you once you're kind of in the mode of you're playing consistently. Take a look at the data. You'll see how many putts you have on average, especially if you play similar courses, which most people do. You can just start to see a lot. And at the beginning of this pod, back several months ago, we had an episode where we looked at some of that data and came up with some insights, like maybe par fives are Kevin's weak spot, but
Hmm.
my weak spot was par threes. And it was
Right.
really easy to see, and it was fun to compare.
Yeah, yeah. The data is great. I'm curious, the listeners out there in the comments, what's your preferred app that connects to your GIN? Is it do you like 18 birdies more? Why? Do you like the Grint more? Why is there some that we're not talking about? And why do you like that one the most? Um,
Hmm.
it certainly was. The par fives recently, I've stopped going for them in two, and then every time I do, I get in trouble or near trouble. And then my wedges have gotten so much better that it just makes so much sense to lay up,
Yeah.
because my
Yep.
wedges can actually get me birdies, anything from really 80 yards to 135, 140, getting
Yeah.
into that zone. And then you just notice par fives, they have all of these um, things that are taunting you to
Yeah.
to go for it, and then and
Yeah.
they have such danger most of the time.
Yeah, and what I would say is that it's not obvious right away because you see bunkers on par fours and par fives, but it's where they put the bunkers, the shape of the bunker. Is it above the hole? Like these small things that they do on the par fives are essentially optical illusions and make you think it's approachable. But of course, if you know the course really well, you know some of them are diabolical. So yeah, it's really kind of interesting that you learned that, hey, it's better if I just have between 105 or 120 and 80 yards. And like you can make birdies from there almost more often than you can chipping around the green.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I it just I think for a lower handicap, 3 and below, obviously par fives are bread and butter, and maybe they have their ways of birdieing them.
Yeah.
Maybe it is going for them in two, or your drive so deep that you are a 5 iron out, so you might as well go for it. Um,
Yep.
and then you're still though, but people don't realize you're still missing on the correct side to chip for an up and down birdie. Like a lot of those birdies
Mm-hmm.
are up and down birdies, just but you got the ball advanced up there enough. But the
Yep.
higher handicaps, 9 and above, it's like, do they really have business going for par fives and two? Like, if you look at the hard stats, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you could argue anyone above 8 handicap should only go for a par five once every other round. Like
Yeah,
only when their drive gets them in that spot. You know, and there's different types of 8 handicaps, right? There's some that bomb
that's
it,
the
but
problem.
just
Yeah.
can't play very well. So their strategy is different. But that's why you have to look at your personal data and
Well,
start thinking on your
I
own,
would
not
argue
just.
that a nine and above should get those practice with wedges from 110.
Yep,
They actually
you're so
need
right.
that the most. So it's like do yourself a favor and take some shots from
Mm-hmm.
110 and put the pressure on those par fives, because it's like if you don't have that shot, you're never going to score on short par fours. You're never going to score. You're always going to be going for par fives and two because you're scared of the wedge.
Yeah,
And so
that's a
many
good
high
point.
handicappers are so scared of the wedge. I used to be pretty scared of. I used to be scared of 60 to 90.
Mm.
I didn't know how to do it at all, and then I started just using my 50 I opened up my 50 to many more yardages. I
Yep.
started saying, okay, there's an element of feel to this. When it's 80, I just take it back this far. It's kind of like Bryson putting. Like I'm like for 80
Right.
yards, I take it back this far. It feels like this,
He
or the
does the
speed. The speed, you slow down the speed a little bit too. That's another way to do it.
Yes, and I'd say when you feel like you have control over the speed of the club head, really, uh, those yardages, you start to be able to just throw them where you want them. But what I would say is it takes a lot less practice than people think to figure out those, medium, short distances. We're talking right now like 70 to 100 yards. How do you control that distance? And it just takes a little practice. Like once you can hit it consistently in the center of the face with a short swing like that, then you just have to rep it out and do it on the course. So going back to your point of they need the practice, you're so right. Like if a 8 to 10 handicap just worked on 70 to 100 yards every so often, that's where a lot more scoring begins to get a couple birdies around rather than every 3 rounds. So it's
Yeah,
a
it's just such an important yardage to have in the bag for a lot of reasons, and also and then just also going for the current, the reason that you are a 9 or higher is your strategy on par fives is wrong, most likely. That's
yeah, yeah,
because
you're
it's the
more.
easiest hole to score on, and when you're getting 8s and 9s on them, which we've all been there, like
Mm-hmm.
it literally happens.
Yep.
You have to kind of look back and go, I had 5 shots to get the job, 5 strokes to get the job done on this hole.
Yeah.
So it's like you're getting such an advantage on a hole
Yeah,
like
it's kind of
that.
like if like what you're saying, your differential on a par five is between a 4 and a 7. Let's try to get that between 5 and 6. Like, don't even care about the birdies. Just get the five. If you make five, you're stoked,
Yeah.
and if you make six, it's part of the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Like you were not playing. You're just reducing that differential. And then once you get it between 5 and 6, you'll be surprised and
Yeah.
start realizing you're making some fours, but you haven't made a 7 in 2 weeks. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. No, so I mean, the state of my game is I'm starting to peak, get my summer peak going, and when I look back historically, it always kind of happens this time of year.
mm-hmm.
It's kind of crazy how that works. I don't know if it's
Yep.
the weather, but it's something more the
Combination of,
daylight.
I think it's a combination of things drying out, so everything goes a little bit deeper, and then also you've just spent 3 4 months grinding, like you don't even know
Kind
it,
of.
but like
Yeah.
if you just add up how many rounds you've played
Yeah.
in this last 3 to 4 months, like it's a lot. And so that just accumulates over time, and you can benefit from that by your body starts making connections like
Yeah.
that it doesn't even think about.
Well, it's just crazy how long it takes to focus and grind, and I don't even like saying that because it's not like I'm out there every day
Right.
practicing like I could be potentially, but to get on plane, like you said, because you watched my round and you're like all your swings are on plane, so I'm like, yeah,
Yep.
it feels unstoppable. Now it just feels like it's all up here, course from a course management perspective. It's like just make the
Mm-hmm.
right decisions on
Yep.
tee, and now it's coming down to just tee shot clubs, picking the right ones for that.
Mm-hmm.
Where it used to be like I didn't even know like yardages exactly. I got new irons like a couple months ago,
Yeah.
so those started to sink in. I give some credit to those for sure. I went
100%.
much more bladey of irons, the Titleist T100s. And because anytime I borrowed yours, I would hit them well. So I'm like, okay, it's the word forgiveness is such a BS term in golf marketing. This
Yep.
idea of forgiving irons and even forgiving drivers. It doesn't make. It's not actually forgiveness. It's not a definition. It's not the
It's
correct
kind
word.
of
You know.
in my head, it's almost directly reverse of, I don't want to say control, but feel. Like forgiveness and feel, some people would say it's called what's called the orthogonal, right? They're perpendicular. Like you can have both, but it's kind of not really true.
Their
Like you kind of
inverse
can't. Yeah,
relationship.
and it's kind of hard to say that, hey, you can have a bunch of forgiveness and feel, because every time I've tried the
You
thing
can't.
with a lot of
You can't. I
forgiveness,
don't think you can.
I haven't had feel.
Right.
And so this goes to the mallet, blade, putter question. And I just think they're on different sides, and it's good to play both sides of that coin with different clubs, different, whatever, because wedges, you need feel, right? You need the extra grooves to get the control. And so control and feel are kind of on the same, are on kind of the same side. And then forgiveness, I don't know what goes with forgiveness. Opposite of control. Like you can't really control it.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, forgive what? Yeah, that's my point. It's such a shitty term. Like, what even is forgiveness? What is it forgiving? Like, just
Mishits
like
is really
the
what it comes down to.
it's forgiving you for not practicing ever,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
You
And
know,
it's getting you to not practice, because guess what? You won't gain much. Now, I'm not saying you can't play well with forgiving clubs or whatever you want to call them, but
right?
it makes it harder to fine tune, which golf is all about fine tuning. So I struggle with things that don't have a ton of, that have too much forgiveness.
Right, right. I mean, so yeah, I get the blades. Those kind of have locked into place pretty well. They feel good. Now like as far as when I'm in the fairway, the shots feel. When I'm seeing the yardage, I'm figuring those out. But again, it's just down to tee shots now. I would say benching the driver, one of the best things I ever did.
Yep.
2 full days of forcing and it was actually really hard to do that. It was crazy playing, and I recommend people to do it in a tournament. Enter a high pressure tournament situation and
Leave the driver in
and
the
the thing was
car.
I didn't leave it in the car because you told me
Right.
you told me that wouldn't do it mentally. Because
Yeah.
then what you do is you're going, I wish I brought
Regretting.
my driver You need to
Yeah.
look at your driver and then
And
grab your three
decide.
wood. So every
Yep.
hole you look at it, there's no decision. You already made the decision, right? You told yourself, or
Yeah.
for me it's easy because I can like
It's good.
make a proclamation on the pod where I'm like I'm not going to use the driver, and then I'm like, well,
Right.
I have to follow what I said on the pod, like
Yep.
So that helps a little bit. It's like somewhat of accountability when you're on social media. People
Mm-hmm.
hold you somewhat accountable. We'll talk about that a little bit later too. With there's a great story about the guy who faked the hole in one, and
Mm-hmm.
the type of
Yeah.
accountability that came his way. But but yet having it in the bag and then walking up to each hole and going, God, this really looks like driver. Be like, grab the 3-wood because whatever, because I told myself I'm not going to hit
Mm-hmm.
the driver, and then grab the 3-wood, and I did it for 2 days in a row,
Wow.
not one driver, and then when I pulled out the driver on Sunday morning, and I swung it like the 3-wood, and it went so far and so straight, and
Wow. Oh
I was
my
like, oh,
God.
there it is, like that's makes
Yep.
sense, like.
That's awesome.
Too many people do such a different swing with their driver. Like
Yeah.
it's like they're playing a new game. It's like this brand new game that because
Yeah.
now I have the driver hand. Here we go. It's like, oh man, it's really more like a 3-wood swing. I mean,
Yeah. I've been feeling that as well with my driver where I can hit my 3-wood so well that started to just try to use the same feel, obviously with a little more upward hit on the ball, but other than that, like the feel of the swing is the same weight transfer kind of sensation on the driver. And it's just crazy how it just freaking flies. I mean, you saw some of the drives I hit, they were so deep. Um, I wasn't even swinging that hard. Like it's just crazy how
oh, it's yeah.
with the driver everyone wants to max their swing speed because that's like the fastest number you can hit on a launch monitor, but it's just like you should never be there on a golf course.
I,
You almost never need that. Why?
yeah, I mean, I don't even like Jackson Coyven like had um there's a great clip of his recent tournament where he says he duffed it. It's like
Mm, yeah,
these guys trying to go full force sometimes duff it too. It's like, what
yeah.
do you think a 9 handicap's gonna do? It's like you should be swinging, and then even like a scratch like you. It's like
Mm-hmm.
there's got to there's an easier way
Yeah,
than going full bore on it.
yeah. It's tricky because like this, it's the same feeling of you having to grab the 3-wood every time. Swinging easy with the driver fades away over time because you start to loosen up and you're like, I could hit this one harder. But it's like, man, if you can hold back and just chill and just do that, then you're gonna be much better off.
Yeah.
Uh, than like some. It's just very difficult to do that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's been cool because it's not like I'm chasing. The swing feels so good for me. I'm not chasing rounds. Like I've been there where so I've been there where I've used like one part of my brain where I'm like where it almost feels like, all right, like keep my arm, like keep
Mm,
this arm bent and then do this with the knee, and then I'm like, I need to play every day, like, or else I'm going to forget this. I need to play every day. I like it, and I've seen people fall into that where they're like, oh, I think I got it.
yep.
This is like, I feel like I could stop playing and then just pick this right back up. Like it's like the on
It's
plane swing just feels so natural and easy.
yeah.
I
What
don't know.
yeah.
I
What
feel
I
like
would
I'm using the
do.
correct part of my brain to swing now.
Right. What you should almost definitely do is get a video of your swing um, as soon as you can, or maybe you have one. And what you want to do is look at where the club is pointing at the top of the swing, and you want to look at where your arms
I'll
are
tell you one thing. I
relative.
don't even in my brain. It doesn't even feel like my club is coming back and pointing at the target. I feel
Oh
like I'm
yeah,
doing such a short swing. I guess it is, but
that's why you have to
so
film
I
it.
actually need to stop watching videos. I'll be honest. I got into because I started
No, no, no.
editing so many videos for YouTube that I was like watching a lot of pros swing and stuff and trying to copy, and I've more
Mm,
fallen into like my own, like I need to do my swing and my feel, And
Yes,
and
it's possible though you were influenced by that and you
maybe
are copying it. That's
that's
okay. All
true.
I'm saying is that you need to film it for data purposes
Right,
to
right,
just be
true.
like, this is a
Data points.
library of a good swing.
Right.
Because when I started doing that with my swing and started to notice the toe of the club was pointing across the
I
line,
see. Because then when you're missing, you can film it and go, that doesn't look like that.
then that's exactly what I do. I film it and I go, oh, it's pointing that way. Let me fix that. And
Mm,
then I fix it on the next swing. It's like, sweet, we're good. So it's like,
interesting.
you have a baseline because I promise you that feel of that plane will go away. Um, but if you have a drill or some feedback thing to find it again, like you just said, I could go play and I'll find it again. It's like you sure will if you
Yeah.
have some kind of signal.
Right. Yeah, I'd say the only miss it could be like a little bit of a pull, which
Mm.
I've seen you do. So I feel like that's like a higher level miss is the
Yep.
pull.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's just overturning a little
but
bit. I
then
mean,
I would
yeah.
actually argue that it's after if it and maybe it's not even the reason of a pull possibly. To me, it's all tempo. So like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it's just tempo, bar none. So
Yeah.
like it doesn't have much to do with pointing and stuff.
Positions. Yep.
It's much more tempo to me is going to be the indicator. And I don't know, a good piece of advice I heard, I forget where it was from, but it's like envision the tempo kind of before you
Yeah.
swing, right? Having
That's a great idea.
that's what you're visualizing is like a what is that tempo?
Yep. And you match it.
Yeah, and then you try to match your visualization of what you want your tempo to be, and
Right.
you don't let anything kind of influence that. So
Yeah. The best test for that is put yourself near a tree where you can't take a full swing and you kind of have to like not hit the tree, right? So you have to stop and you still have to be in tempo. We've all been near a tree
mm,
and like swung too fast, right? And then you miss the ball or whatever. So if you, that is the biggest test. Can there be a tree in your backswing and you still swing with tempo? It's really tough mentally.
wow, yeah, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, and so then the other aspect of the game for me right now has been like the Texas wedge,
Dude. Yep.
especially late in the round. The pressure's cooking. I know I'm like 2-3 behind this guy in my cart. And this I'm speaking about like the USAM tour specifically when I knew I was back a little bit, and I was just like a little bit short of the green. And I'm like, dude, just get
Nice.
the hybrid out. Because now I put the hybrid back in my bag, which has been a great club for like that 220
Mm-hmm.
number. And it kind of
Yeah.
flies, and you can kind of, I feel like I can land it in more precise spots than the 5 wood. The 5 wood
Yeah.
could go right or left. So I benched the 5 wood, put back in the 3 hybrid.
Nice.
Old school club, been sitting in the shed for a long time, but pulled that thing back out.
And you
But then
probably use it more around the green than
well, yeah,
in
I
the
chip with
fairway.
it mostly. Yeah, exactly. And the
That's great.
chips are just perfect. It's like, and you just hold it like a putter, put it off the front foot to give it a little more loft. Bink, and it just goes, and you just
Just
kind of read the
skips.
rollout, and then
Yeah.
and it gives you it gives you that putt for par on par threes. You know,
Yep.
the Texas wedge.
The makeable putt too. Because
Yep.
the chip, dude, you could not have a makeable putt. It could go anywhere sometimes.
Oh
But that
God,
Texas
yeah.
wedge, whether it's with a putter or a hybrid, there's no way you're gonna be outside of like 5% of the total distance you just were.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's too easy.
and it's just right. Like when you look at a ball that's kind of near the green, and your first thought is, "Oh, I'm smoked." It's like Texas wedge. Like it's
Yep.
just like, dude, just punch it. Punch it a little bit, putt it. It's not even a punch. It's like a putt. But then what happens is it does become a punch
Yep.
because of the club's loft, and the
Yep.
and the mass behind it.
Yeah, I'd
It
say a lot of people who play on the East Coast don't play on the same grass that we do. So like Texas, I'd say they have a lot of courses with the short grass around the greens, and so do we. The ball can kind of bounce, but I just know from experience in the Midwest and East Coast, there's usually long grass,
it's
so it
not even
only
called. It's
works.
not even called the Texas wedge because of Texas. It's because everything's bigger in Texas. That's
Yeah.
like the term. It's just like a longer putt. You use the putter from
Oh yeah,
longer
no,
out.
no, for sure.
You know.
No, I am saying though, it is a I just know the grass is not the same in the south
Yeah.
west compared to the East Coast.
Yeah, no,
So
the
it is
East Coast,
it is true that
there's definitely
Texas has a
places
lot of
where the
courses.
roughs you're in the rough and it's too thick. Like I totally
Yeah.
get that. But it's like when you have a long runner, I guess it's like places that are kind of like linksy.
Yeah, yeah.
They're
Just
and it was funny. The guy in my group was like, I wish I had that in my bag, that shot in my bag, and like in my head, I'm like, you do, like you just don't
yeah,
know
guess
that
what?
you can do that, but you could
Yeah.
definitely pull that off like anytime you want.
Yep.
Just take a 5 wood, 3 wood, give it a little taparoo, and watch it just kind of it. What if you look at it under a microscope? It's getting air. It's actually
Mhm.
rising above the grass a little bit.
Yep. It's flying but skipping like a rock, and then once it gets on the green, it usually starts rolling.
And it's
Like it
better
stops
than a putter
bouncing.
because of that little air, because it has
Yeah.
19 degrees aloft. That
Yep.
hybrid, it's actually going to pop, and then the rollout, everything's going to change versus a putter.
Yep.
Putter might be the physics behind a putter might be impossible to stop it later. But
Yeah.
because you're getting some
Exactly.
air and then some die and some whatever backspin.
Yeah. It's just a nice. It's like you're bouncing it, and because you get to bounce it, it's softer. And then so
Yeah.
once it gets near the really short grass, it's not coming in like a shing. And it obviously you've done it a lot, so
Yeah.
um,
Most were
like you know how it's gonna
uphill, but I did
release.
it
Yeah.
3 times in 4 holes and parred
Wow.
every single one.
No way.
So it was just
That's
like it was
awesome.
just like a clinic of 3 hybrid chipping, putting, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
from off the green, and one was like super far off. So
Wow.
highly recommend chipping slash putting with a 3 hybrid, maybe a 5 wood, something with a little bit of pop around that 20 degree, 18 to 22 degree. When you're on, especially tight lies, even better.
Yep.
Tight lies are really where it works. I think the best.
Oh
So
my gosh, you just sweep it. And the reason it works better than a 5 iron is because that 5 iron is going to cut into the grass. And this kind of is what you're saying. Um, the 5 iron has that blade edge, the knife edge that will just could cut into the ground, but the wood has this big sole on the bottom that will
you
just
can't miss.
you can't dig it into the ground if you tried with the small swing.
Right.
So, like you truly, like you just said, can't miss.
Yeah. The odds of missing are much lower. Um, but all right, let's move on to FedEx Cup playoffs. Top 70 players. The FedEx St. Jude Classic this week. The playoffs begin. Um, is Scotty Scheffler going to pull off the W? Rory's a big favorite. We'll talk about Rory in a second. He's actually not playing. Wait, is he playing this week? I forget if he is or not. He may
I'll
have just.
check.
I think he may have just entered it. Yeah, check
Oh,
if he's
wow.
playing. But he. I don't think he is actually. He doesn't have to. He
Right, because he
doesn't.
qualifies
He
for the
well,
round
yeah.
after
These guys
that.
that are in the top 10, they don't actually have to play this event because of the way the playoffs are set up, which
He's not
makes.
playing.
That's what I thought. FedEx St. Jude
Oh
Classic.
wait, sorry, my bad. He is playing 8:30. I don't know why it didn't
He
show up the
no,
first
he
time.
did a late entry actually.
Got it.
Uh, FedEx St. Jude Classic. Rory decided to play it. Uh, he's only going to hit 14 events. There's a 15 event PGA minimum to keep eligibility. Him and PGA Tour CEO Brian Rolap, Rory's quoted as saying they have kind of an agreement or an understanding. The only way out for him is like a medical, some sort of medical exemption that why he couldn't play 15, medical or hardship, and so they're gonna just basically give him that. They're gonna give him Rory's gonna get a medical or hardship exemption because he didn't meet the 15 event minimum. Rory's quoted as saying he prides himself in that he's an international player. He plays a lot of DP World Tour events.
Mm.
So when you hit 15, it allows you to go back and forth, DP World Tour, PGA. If you're under 15, you have to get waivers basically to play those events.
Wow.
So Rory, I mean, let's be honest. Rory's untouchable, or he thinks he's untouchable, and he kind of is. Guy won the Masters this year. I mean,
Yeah,
He can do
I
whatever he
think
wants,
it's. I
probably.
mean, honestly,
What are you gonna kick him off the tour? I mean, come on.
yeah, no, it's one of those things that I think everyone would agree with, except the people who would benefit from it. But I don't think there's many that would benefit because he brings a lot of energy to the field
It's just
whenever
unfair.
he is playing.
You make a rule, and then he's like, and he's like, yeah, I'm my schedule just like there's not a 15th, for me to play.
Yeah,
And he was like, I actually was gonna play 13. And they're like, Rory, could you possibly play the first playoff event? He's like Brian calls him. He's like, yeah, I guess, man. I guess I'll cruise to Memphis. Like, fine. Um,
yeah. Does
but he doesn't need to. These guys don't need to play. The guys in the top 5,
of
top 10 don't
course.
need to play this playoff event, which speaks to how kind of crappy that playoff setup is. Or it speaks to you should take it off because you did so well. I don't know. I'm curious
Yeah,
what the people think out there for a playoff setup like that. It's like the March Madness where you can just start playing in the quarters because you had a
yeah.
great
The
season. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I mean, let the guys get extra rest if they want, or join the whole thing.
I mean, the NFL has a
Um,
bye week for the top seeds. You know,
right. I guess it doesn't matter if they play. The only thing is if they play, they could like knock out someone they would have to compete with, but they're always going to be in it. So somebody, I don't know. It's just kind of a
no, it's a good
weird
point. But
because they're so
do
far
you
down
care
there.
though if you are already aren't you realistically just trying to get to the tour championship? 30 players. Okay, tell me when
Yeah.
to go. Tell me when my tea time is. Like I'm gonna win.
Yeah, I mean everybody
Who
will play the
cares who the
BMW because you
29?
have to.
Who cares who the
Um,
29 are? You know.
Yeah, I'd say give them a bye week because they played so well. If anything, it is good that they can take the week off if they wanted, because like they did win tournaments. They did play incredibly well this year. Do whatever you want. It's kind of like that, the same thing with Rory not playing 15 events. Like, hey man, you're playing great. Do whatever you want
But that's
at this
directly
point.
like breaking a rule.
I get that
The
one. Yeah,
15
no, no,
event.
that one there will be some questions, and he'll need a doctor's note, but um, who knows the what kind of what's it called? You know, issues he'll have with the public because of that. I don't think very much. It's only one short. I think he can
Yeah.
come up with an excuse
Right.
that
Right.
is private, right? It's like this is private. I didn't play this event because of blah blah blah. We don't have to publish that info, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, if the players accumulated enough points, they automatically cannot fall outside the top 50. They could skip the St. Jude and still advance the BMW. They'd be giving up the opportunity to earn points and improve their position. Improve their position for what? like, what are you improving your?
Well, I guess the second, uh, sorry, I can't remember. Is it just who wins the tour
Yes, that's my
championship?
point. Yeah, yeah, they changed it
Oh
a couple
God.
years ago.
And there's
That's
no placements,
that's why
right?
Tommy
There's no,
Fleetwood won. Yes.
nobody starts at like -10, right?
That's done. Yeah, yeah. We just
Jesus.
use that because it's fun TV. It's fun YouTube golf. We actually really like that system because for a
Right.
scoreboard watcher to watch
Yeah.
me, you, and Miller play, it's much better to start Miller at -10 and then watch you beat him on hole 17, 18 comes down to the wire, or
Yeah.
earlier, but
Yeah. Yeah,
they
that's
don't do that
crazy.
anymore. Yeah.
So if you're number 30 right now going into St.
You
Jude,
should probably play
you're
it
like, well,
to
I mean, you're obviously playing
yeah.
it because you want to be in the top 30 later. So if
But if
basically that's if McElroy doesn't win or didn't play this week, then you could gain free points on McElroy, and if you were close to him, you could secure a spot above him going
but
into next
But
week.
if you're in second and you're up by so many points that the points that they get from FedEx St. Jude, they can't even pass you.
Right.
That's where it starts to get. What is the point of this? And that's
Yeah.
kind of how Rory feels playing this week, in my opinion. Um, I mean, I bet he's not going to win this week
No, probably not.
because
He
why?
might
What's
even.
the point?
Yeah. I think he'll play his best,
Dude, when
play
you
as
win
well
the
as he can.
Masters, you've risen above. You treat these tournaments as like trying out like I don't know. I just
Yeah,
can't
the only reason he
imagine.
could win, which he won't because it takes too much extra effort to try
Yeah,
to win.
we all know the
Uh,
mental
Yeah, it's
effort
not
to
like
it.
he
I
can
mean,
just
not of
walk
PGA, but of any
around and do it.
tournament though. The pressure, the mental fatigue that
Yeah,
that it puts you through.
yeah,
Why do that when you want to peak later? It's about peaking, man. Right?
yeah. You're so right. Yeah, if taking the week off allowed you to peak in that final tournament where it actually matters,
No, it's not taking the week off.
then
He's gonna have to play it for face to make an
well,
appearance
yes,
for
yeah,
the
yeah,
for
yeah.
the PGA to be happy with him. But
Yep.
does he need to peak? No,
No, not at all. You're
not by
right.
any means. So it's interesting that my opinion on this whole. We've gotten the new announcement of the match play playoffs, and then now they're still making us watch this old kind of setup. I just think
Yeah,
it's very contrary, um, putting those two, next to each other and trying to ask us fans to
enjoy
watch
it.
these playoffs. It's like I'm like,
Yeah,
well, where's the match play? It's like, well, you got to wait a couple years. I'm like, well, what is this like? You know,
yeah.
are
It just makes it so the playoffs are less interesting.
they?
But
Yeah,
it'll still be a fun few weeks of intense golf. I mean, it is pretty fun when it is just 30
when
and
I
it's
think the
like,
BMW is a great one when it's 50
oh yeah,
fighting for 30. That's pretty.
yeah,
That's pretty good.
that's pretty brutal. It's always fun at the end of these tournaments because
But
it
again,
doesn't
I
matter.
struggle with the coverage of the announcers trying to understand the math because it's kind of impossible to explain scenarios
You're so right.
because they're like, if Fleetwood birdied, he jumps to projected 29th. But then it's like, then they're like in their ear, they're like, Koiven just eagled. They're like, so Koiven's now 29. It's like we
Well,
just
it's more
told
like
you
now
something the
his
opposite.
projected is 30, not 29. It's just
Yeah,
the
too
only
many
thing you
things can
can do.
change that the where it's
Yeah,
at, how it ends.
yeah.
So it's hard
It
to
just
watch. It's one of those things that you want to almost just check in the newspaper the next day and be like, how did it end up? Like, watching it live and trying to root for something is like impossible
yeah, that's a good point
with how
because
the
you're just
math
on
is.
edge. Yeah, you're on
We
edge.
have
Court.
60, 50 variables, 70 to 50 variables fighting to become top 30, and there's no real storyline. You can like
Yeah.
hope for a storyline as a producer of the show, but you know,
You hope it starts telling a story. Like last week, I think was good to get top 70 because it came down to the last couple groups. And I think the way it works is that the leaders go out at the end on Sunday, right? So all of these people who are going to get massive points are moving through the course at the same time. So the story does start to develop
well, it become you
because
be
some
it
of
be
them some of them could be bubble
yeah.
players.
Well, it becomes that your variables get so low that you can
Right.
now
You can
say,
start telling a
but if Bo
story.
Hostler wins, Koiven doesn't make it, and they're like, that one's for sure. And it's like, well, dude, there's only 30 minutes left of broadcast. It's like,
Yeah,
well, but no,
you
but we
missed
got
the
a
entire.
story now. Like, where the math before, an hour before that, it was like this, that it was like a billion,
Yeah.
500 things could have happened. Yeah, as you have all those
Yeah, they don't even
variables.
talk. They don't even talk about it at that point.
Yeah, I mean, but they want, but I want to hear that stuff too. So it's like, that's why match play is so much more palatable. It's like, yeah, I get
I think
it.
it'll be cool.
If he wins, he moves to the next part of the bracket. It's like, you don't need to tell me that one twice. Like,
Yeah, every sport is in a bracket, pretty much.
yeah, like you ever watch
Like
March Madness and then they have to like explain it for an hour? No, it's pretty obvious. Like whoever wins this game plays the
goes to the
team
next.
that won earlier the game before this. It's like, oh my gosh, yeah,
Right.
that's genius. Like it's like so much more compelling, TV to watch.
Yeah, and I think you may have caught some of it. The WSL and Chopu doing their surf contest. The finals are tomorrow morning, which are I don't know what the time difference is, but
Yeah,
Um,
call times like 6:30 Tahitian time for the
yeah.
WSL
So,
Chopu finals.
but they do heats, right? And then it's a bracket. So like,
Yes,
I don't know
exactly.
how else you could do surfing because it's kind of a one-on-one thing. But news on that, Kelly Slater did not proceed to the next round, so that could be his last heat at that surf spot. So I think pretty
Yeah,
sad that the announcers were pretty bummed. No story there, right? They were amping him up the whole week. It was pretty cool.
yeah, he had a great heat like the day before Kelly Slater at Chopu, but they gave him a wild card. They're gonna keep giving him wild cards. So
Oh, as long as he wants to in his training, then yeah, why not?
yeah, everyone wants they get more
It's like having
views.
Tiger Woods show up
Yeah,
to the tournament.
it's exactly like having Tiger. Like Kelly Slater and Tiger are the same thing in their sport. You know, when they're on TV, more people watch. They make
Yeah.
more ad money. I mean, it's pretty much bread and butter for the WSL. They understand that, right? That
Yeah.
and they're only going to give him wild cards when he wants. You know, if he likes to go to Chopu, they'll give him that. They were asking about pipe, and he was like, "Yeah, if they give me one, I'll definitely be there." So that was
Cool.
him like kind of speaking to them, you know, through to through the public, in his
Yeah.
interview.
Yeah, it almost sounds like McElroy wants to be in that position now. He's just not. He's almost there, I think, where it's like he just shows up sometimes. Um,
Well, that's what's funny is they have like sponsor exemptions, but they almost should. Yeah, they almost need like a. I guess a sponsor exemption is kind of the wild card, but
yeah,
because it's truly some guy's decision who gets the sponsor exemption for whatever
hmm
reason they want. You know, I mean,
yeah, some grand scheme, some test and learn, whatever you want to call it.
whatever. Maybe they're getting blackmailed or something. Who knows? Like some of these sponsor exemptions, but they can give it to anyone. And that's the beauty. Like they give it to
Yeah,
you. Um, but yeah. So that FedEx Cup playoffs. We're looking forward to it at least, uh, for what it's going to offer. Hopefully one of these big names pops up, and I'm more looking forward to the BMW and the next one, in the Tour Championship, and then obviously what I'm really looking forward to though is how everything's going to change in 2 years in 2028.
hmm
I think that could be a compelling product. Right, match play at the end.
yeah. It could change the whole dynamic. What's great is that like we've all become desensitized to the $10 million that you win at the end, just a little bit.
Yeah,
So like it almost doesn't matter what format they do. Somebody's gonna win, and everyone's playing the same format. So it doesn't really give an advantage to anyone other than the people who play well. Um,
I feel like
so
that's a
it's
bad like sports now and money. Is not. It's not even the reason that people care anymore.
yeah,
It used to be like when Who Wants to Be a Millionaire came out. It was like so cool. This guy's gonna win $1 million. Like, oh my gosh, by answering trivia questions. It's like now it's like, spare me from the money, man. Like, just can we just like focus on the sport
that's
a
so
little
funny.
bit? Like we're just so over the that and live especially just killed
Yeah, that kind of
blew
definitely
screwed
killed.
that up for everyone.
I'd say it's the companies becoming multi-trillion-dollar companies, and the scale of that is unimaginable, is making award money for different things meaningless
Right.
because it's so little, or it's just there's almost consequences to making the
Well,
money.
it's just like keep it keep it a secret how much they win. Like just talk about the trophy or something. Like let us focus on something more symbolic
Yeah,
than how much money they get. Like, oh wow, they win 10 mil. Like I don't know. It just seems like we've
yeah,
lost that. Like we're in a new era of sport.
I think you're right.
You obviously
I
need
think
to
it's
pay
coming.
them. They should get paid because it's their job and they
hmm
succeeded in it. But it's like should be like a footnote at this point.
Yeah, I think that a lot of that in golf is coming from McElroy's attitude. Tiger at certain points
Yeah.
was starting to obviously not need any more money and just was winning more tournaments. Um, Scheffler never says it's about the money or whatever. It's always about just
Right.
enjoying it or
All of our
whatever.
icons are are,
kind of soft
they're
in that
speaking.
capitalism.
Right. They're not speaking towards. They're speaking towards the love of the game and the love of these certain tournaments, and it's not about the money. So and Liv screwed it up. I mean, let's be honest. Liv made
So
us
true.
talk about it so much about the money. That it's all about the money. That's why Brooks left. And then
It's almost like
money.
we had to move away from that discussion because Liv took the spotlight and was giving obscene amounts of money.
They're giving like 10
projected
million
money.
just on a weekly tournament. So it's like, what is the FedEx Cup now? Like that was their whole point, by the way,
Yeah.
was to just completely shit on PGA Tour purses, and they did.
Yeah. Honestly.
So now
so
as
true.
fans, we have to justify PGA as being a higher caliber, not because of the money.
Oh my gosh, you're right. The value had to shift away from the money these golfers were making.
We had to
because it started
accept.
to look like nothing.
Right. Well, we had to accept that maybe it's not where you make the most money, but it's Arnold Palmer's tournament. Like, let's go.
Mhm.
Like this is Bay
Yeah.
Hill, baby. Like you have to start looking deeper into the tradition of it, and that's what they should be feeding us more, is
Yeah.
tradition and talking about
lean into
history.
that.
I just feel like this, like the Premier League champion. I don't know how much money they make. It's not talked about because it's just it's such an honor to win that soccer tournament.
Yeah.
The World
point.
Cup. They don't say like this is for 50 million. Like it's like this is the World
Olympic
Cup, baby.
gold.
Like Olympic gold. They make like a little bit, but it's like that. It's a footnote.
Yeah,
So
that
the
is
second
a
you start
compensation.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So the second you start like using money as your primary driver, it just it doesn't end well. It seems, it never ends well.
It didn't end well for Liv. So I think it's a really good point, and I think the PGA had to make a point about it to combat Liv and be like, look, now we're giving good prizes. Not just $100 gift card to Roger Dunn, right? No, I'm joking.
Yeah. 150
so-
I won. 150 I won on Sunday.
Dang. Yeah. Do you want to give a quick chat about that?
Yeah, I
It's
do
your
want
first-
to. I do want to talk about the USAM Tour.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I first want to shout out USAM Tour, guys. National Championships, the Senior Nationals at Sun River Resort in Oregon, September 10th through 13th, and then USAM Tour National Champion. USAM Tour National Championships September 18th through 21st for the regular championship, the normal. So we got USAM Tour National Championships, Senior National Championships is September 10th through 13th. So they're going to do the Senior Championship first, then USAM Tour Nat Champ September 18th through 21st, Sun River out of near Bend, Oregon. I want to talk a little bit about eligibility for the Nationals. I feel like it's a little bit misunderstood, right? You have to play 6 events, but if you're in championship, you have to play 4, right? You're in championship, yeah?
Yes.
So you got the email already that you qualified, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. I didn't get the email yet, but I believe it's coming because if you scroll down to the qualifying and eligibility requirements, the top 33% of each flight per tour. So we're the LA tour. I'm sitting at, I think, 12th or 9th or something out of like 40-something people.
Yep.
So I'll make that top 33%. So everyone out there listening, if you're on the USAM Tour, make sure you got 6 events. There's like 39 events left. I was just counting roughly, all around the nation. You can also fly and play in other events in other areas. They still count, right?
Yep.
Or drive there, whatever. But USAM Tour qualifying and eligibility for national championships, 6 events for most of the flights. Championship, you only need 4 events. But the kind of last way to make it, how I think I'm going to make it, top 33% of the flight per tour. So the LA Tour, I'm in that top 33%. And then my understanding is it's the top 33% after they remove the people that already are eligible.
Correct.
So they're going to take out the people that met all the other criteria, so past national
It's like the
champions, any 3-time champion, a major top 2 or top 3, um, those guys get removed. And then if you're in the top 33%, so I feel like that's misunderstood. So you could be sitting at like 50%, halfway there, and then all of a sudden you would jump up. So make sure you get your 6 events in to hope that you get enough points to jump into that once they do the adjustments. And that's how I got in. No, last year I got in by getting second in a major. But this year I'm actually going to fight to get in by top 33%, where I'm already sitting. But again, US Am Tour National Championship, guys, scope the eligibility requirements. Okay, top 33% of your local tour, you can still get in. So if you have 6 events and you're in the top 33% of points, you are eligible for nationals. And the top 33%, that's after they remove the people that were eligible otherwise. So you could be sitting at 40, 50, 60 and jump right into that 33%, and all of a sudden be eligible for Sun River, Oregon. We went last year. It was unbelievable. I can't wait. 4 days in a row of golf. I mean,
yeah.
how
I'm
can you beat
stoked.
it?
It's gonna be, as long as the weather's solid, which it should be, it's gonna be a great time. It's a great event. Incredible golf courses. 3 different golf courses you play, and it's such a good experience to go travel and go play a tournament, not just go travel and play like a trip, right? Like go play some nice courses. This you get every penny you put in back by
Yeah,
far.
look. I mean, US Am Tour National Championships. The entry fee's $9.99. Seems steep, but you get 4 rounds at Sun River, 3 different courses on 4 rounds, and the tee prizes. Right, opening night. It's like we got amazing stuff.
Oh
Like
yeah.
the sickest towel, with a pick of 3 different waterproof backpacks, head covers. I mean, it was like I felt like I walked out of there with like 10 different tee prizes that it
Yeah.
definitely adds up to that $1,000, when you add in 4 rounds with a cart, and then the Airbnbs are cheap. Also, if you don't want to stay at the resort, that's the secret, guys. The pros aren't staying at hotels, right? They're getting houses. I think that was our unlock this year.
Yeah. I'm stoked for that. That should be so fun. Um,
But yeah, I know I played in the Dana Point Championship. I got first in the Hogan Flight on Sunday, so it was my first win since 2021. I was looking back. The last win was like PB Die in Queenstown, Queensland. I forget what it was on the East Coast that we played.
yeah,
Harbor
it seemed
Queens
like
Harbor Landing or
oh
something.
yeah,
It's been a
Queenstown
while, man. I
Harbor.
didn't realize Queenstown Harbor. Thank you. I didn't realize how long it's been since I've had a first place, man. It
Yeah,
takes a
it's
lot.
hard.
Yeah.
What's cool is that when I checked your scorecard, it seemed like there were still a couple holes that were higher scores. Not just a bogey,
Oh yeah.
and that's just headroom to even be better. And yeah, you could argue you made some putts on other holes that helped you play well, but
I really
you
didn't.
still have
Nothing.
headroom
Yeah.
to be smart out there. And
Oh yeah, getting 2 doubles in a row and then still winning makes you feel like I could have shot, like, it makes you feel like you could have shot under par because you go
yeah,
remove
it,
those and then you're
that
like,
is that's one reason why on the USAM tour you don't have to be so critical of one mistake, because, and we've talked about this, everyone is going to go through
yeah,
a tragic event over those 4 rounds. Like,
it's it
no
yeah.
freaking doubt. Somebody
How
will
about
make a
during one
mental mistake.
round like
Well,
that?
yeah, I mean, of course, during one round,
That's
that
hard
can
to
happen.
accept.
Yeah.
It's so easy to give up. We've talked about that before.
And good players like myself, and anyone really, but uh, it can really hurt early in a round. And I've seen people get defeated after 8 holes and they have a bad hole and they think it's over. And it's
I
just
call it
like, oh my
giving up. Your
gosh.
strategy changes and it's over.
Yep.
You know,
Yep. Yep.
it's just too easy to do. Yeah, it will, especially when you're playing a flighted event.
Yep.
To your point, it's just a ticking time bomb for everyone. So it's like,
Oh
how do
my
you
gosh.
handle it? How do they handle it? Right, like
I think
that.
the funniest part of the USAM tour is when we come back and when KCON, you and me were in different flights. the characters we'd run into were totally different, and the style of playing in a group was totally different. It's just so funny to hear the stories of any group, to be like, wow, 0 to 4 handicaps are so different than 8 to 12 and
Yeah,
4 to 8. Like they're just different customer demographics
for
almost.
sure. Yeah, yeah. It's funny. I know someone should make a meme of that, of like
Oh my
categorizing each
gosh, great
handicap,
great
because it's
idea.
like pretty predictable almost.
Yeah, you can make a video for sure
You
where it's
know.
like 0 to 4 handicaps respond like this to that,
Yeah.
and easy.
Exactly.
I'm just happy to be out here. That's like the 20 handicap
Right.
after they hit a shank.
Yeah, yeah. It starts to like, it's like a curve that like then goes as the higher
Hmm.
handicap. Then it like they become more like scratch guys.
Yeah,
Like they don't give a
it's like
shit with mistakes as much, which like
right.
helps them,
Yeah,
not become a 30 handicap. But
that's good.
but okay, want to give a quick PSA, public service announcement on lightning on the golf course, guys. Watch out. This is the summer months when lightning storms come to many areas of the United States, specifically, maybe other places, obviously, but lightning. In the summer, watch out on the golf course. It's not the safest place to be. I know when we played in Florida a lot, they had sensors that would kind of know when it was within a certain mileage radius, and then it would kind of tell us on the
Hmm.
cart. I don't think everywhere has that because Florida has so much lightning. Um, but there's places. There's a pretty scary video where the guy's under a tree filming his buddies and then gets struck by lightning. I guess his whole body went numb. He ended up being okay, but he was like numb for a few hours after, in
Wow.
the recovering in the hospital. It's viral video out there on the golf course of guys playing, but he seemed to be under trees. He was filming his buddies on the cart out in the fairway, and then he got struck. Um, so Andrew, where is the safest place to be on a golf course when there is thunder and lightning? And of course, this is if you don't if you're so far out you don't have time to get back to
Right.
the clubhouse shelter. Um,
Yeah. Well, basically, lightning is going to find the path of least resistance, right? And um, because it's a like a shock essentially between a high and low energy level, what happens is that the path of least resistance is through the tallest object, or the most conductive object. So what that means is you do not want to go by trees. You do not want to go by tall things, even the flagpole probably. But rather than, and you don't want to go to the top of a hill, right? You don't want to be somewhere where you can be at that high potential there. So the best place to go during a lightning storm on the golf course is going to be the bottom of the hill, right? The bottom of a bunker. I thought
I
of
like
a
that.
decent spot to go. Anywhere where it's like depressed land away from objects, right?
So
Because
so
that
it's
lightning,
so I think it's counterintuitive to a degree to some people because so you can be in the open.
yeah,
You
yeah,
actually want
it,
to be kind of in the open at the bottom of a bunker. There's nothing there, like because they say seek shelter, and I feel like people think get under a tree or something. Like that's wrong,
yeah.
right?
No, yeah, it would be get under a real structure
That can
that is
take the hit
grounded.
ground. Right,
Yes.
right. So you're
And
actually
that's why the
protected.
golf cart is a great spot as well
And I was
because we
reading
all
that
know.
it's not
Oh,
necessarily
really?
structured enough
Yeah,
necessarily,
it's not
but
enclosed, right? So it's
right.
kind of could go through some stuff there.
And it has some metal on it too, so it's like not
Yeah.
necessarily. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what I read. I don't know if there's a good answer to this,
Of course
but
not.
it
There's
seems like
no.
bottom of a bunker, lightning will not really strike you there necessarily.
Yeah. I.
Like it
We
may
can.
not, it might hit something else,
Yeah.
but
All of this is kind of
because it's
um,
going to like what is
lower probability.
it's electricity searching for something, right? And if you're just under at the bottom of a bunker, deep at a bottom bunker, it's going to kind of pass over you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm really curious if what part of the is the ground. I believe the ground is a low potential because it's the earth, but then in the sky there's a high potential of not static electricity. let's see, lightning.
Look, I mean, I don't know if we're really helping our listeners out here, other than if lightning is in the area, try to get back to a real structure, and that doesn't mean like
Mm-hmm.
under trees. That would be the wrong
Yep.
move. You'd rather be, and it's scary because it's weird being out in the open watching lightning come down, and it's like, well, it's not going to hit me because I'm at the bottom of a bunker. Under a tree, you can't even see it, but then it will actually attract that electricity down, and then go, oh, there's a
Yeah.
conduit right next to the
Right.
tree. Boom,
And
take
I
him
just read
down.
that 95% of lightning comes up from the ground, right? And what that means is the charge is collapsing in the sky rather than down on the ground.
So it's going
Uh,
through the tree, down and back up through
no,
you.
it's actually going up from the ground through the tree up, and then it's all happening so fast at the same time that that's the lightning is
Shit.
the. It's kind of like when you spark a plug on something, like it's pretty much doing that, but it's actually most of the time coming from the ground, and so it's going to find the tree, so it doesn't have to travel in the air, which is what takes a lot of the energy. So if it has a ton of energy, it doesn't need a tree, right? But if there are trees, then it doesn't need as much energy to sort of collapse. Whoa, sorry,
I see.
to collapse that energy.
So those objects like a lightning rod helps bring it up
Yep.
to the
Yeah, it gives
sky.
a yeah, it like lowers the potential needed to create lightning.
Right, and that's kind of
Um,
the no-go zone
definitely.
if you're trying to not die.
You don't want to connect. You don't want to help the lightning strike.
This physics from happening.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, lightning PSA. I mean, it's pretty much like, just respect. I guess just don't take it as a joke. If you see lightning, it's like wait it out. You're supposed to actually wait till like I forget 15, 20 minutes after. And the funniest is I read is like if you hear thunder, it's already too late. Like you could get struck by lightning if you hear thunder.
Yeah, I
You know,
mean, we all know the trick of counting how many seconds and that's how many miles because
yeah.
the speed of sound. So it's pretty much if you're seeing it and then hearing it, I mean, you'll know if it's close. It's pretty nuts when you've been close to a lightning strike. The thunderclap or whatever it is pretty loud. So you'll know
Yeah.
if you're in danger. But those guys, I haven't seen the video, but I would assume they were like having fun in the storm rather than thinking about like, wow, this is close.
That's
We should,
yeah. The fact that the guy's filming his friends playing in
yeah,
it's just you'd start to wonder. But I
yeah.
don't
They were
know.
just trying to get some footy.
I feel like I've had a low round and been like, we're almost done. Like, let's keep going. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I pushed it to a degree when we were in Florida.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
usually stops though. So for the most part, it's gonna pass by. So that's why they
well,
have
you're
the
gonna hope. You
shelters.
hope it's right. That's true. We've also been under the shelter, and then we play great golf right after.
And then it's like a beautiful day.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's kind of
true.
cool.
In those places, it does pass. Yeah. So, a couple more topics: DP World Tour, and Live. DP World Tour announced to the Live players that the window is closing for conditional release. This idea that you could play on Live and DP World Tour, um, that's starting to dwindle at the end of the year. So
Hmm.
basically, forcing Live players' hands a little bit more to say like, do which tour do you guys want? You're gonna stick with Live, or you want to jump on DP because we're not doing this little hybrid stuff anymore. There's
Yeah,
going to
they
be
must have been
heavy
getting.
fines. They said heavy fines for
Wow.
them to get back into the DP. The DP though has been, look at Patrick Reed, right? They let him back in sooner. He paid his fines and had a lot of success. So they're trying to kind of show that like it's going to be harder than it was for
Yeah,
for P Reed.
I think it will. I don't think they want to have an influx of these guys coming in right away. I also think they probably are ending some kind of deal that they had, and so it's just going to be part of that deal, not
Well, look, and there's
being
there's probably going to be guys on
combined.
Live that go, you know what, it makes sense for me to just keep making money playing live,
Yeah. And then if it stops, it stops, and
Well,
it's
supposedly they got
either
investors coming in September,
yeah,
so
yeah. I mean,
there's gonna be 10 events, five USA, 5 international. Uh, so it's not stopping per se. At least that's
yeah,
the word on the street. It's not stopping. Um, I don't know. I mean, we always looked at it as possibly more opportunities for someone like you to play on some sort of tour. Like maybe live becomes an option. Like maybe it
yeah,
becomes like a, tour that put it this way: the more qualifiers, more kind of Mackenzie tour type things that are out there, it's probably better for people like you, potential tour player type caliber people.
yeah. It's interesting because if it's not a stepping stone to the PGA, then that is the top limit. So it's just like it is another avenue, but it's not the PGA Tour. So
Yeah, but it's still professional.
yeah,
You know,
but like you said last week or a couple weeks ago, like then it's just like one of those Florida pro
the Hooters
leagues.
tour. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Like
yeah,
then it just becomes that, and
right.
like that if that's the limit, great, have
But maybe
fun.
it'll
But you're
become like
not.
the most popular one. I don't know. But it'll
You would have to
fade.
get a sensational golfer who's like making like you would have to do too much. I just don't see it
Yeah.
after this kind of stress on the brand. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I feel like we've entered like because they just announced, Liv just announced that they canceled their team championship event at the end of the year, and they have this potential investor. DP World Tour is starting to cut more ties. Now we're starting to feel a little bit like kind of bad for Liv. We
Yeah,
were
right.
shitting on them for the last 3 months,
It's
and
the
then now I am now
villain.
thinking about the human beings on Liv and going, damn, that's kind of rough, and I kind of hope that they still have a good professional golf career. I guess
Yeah, it's like
it's
a
almost like we
villain
know that the
who
writing's not even on the
yeah.
wall anymore. It's done, and we're like, okay, that sucks.
You're like, okay, maybe we should not let them drown.
Right,
But
right.
at the same time, you're like, well, you took the bait from the mermaid and now what am I supposed to do for you? Like,
Yeah,
I'm sorry, you got screwed.
but we don't want them to drown. You
Yeah,
know.
you were trying to take a shortcut and you got screwed, so why would I?
Yeah,
But
no, and they
we got
got
to save them
a
for
lot of them got
survival.
paid well and stuff, and
That's the
yeah,
thing. If they get out with having made, kind of obscene amounts of money and can somehow get back on tour and act like nothing happened because of PR and marketing, then man, they were the smartest people to
that's
do
the
that
thing.
just
If
for a
the
few years.
only not all of them made a ton. There's you could
Right.
probably argue some guys could have maybe like made more or like done better on the real tours from a PR
Maybe.
perspective for sure.
Well, for
Um,
sure.
but I'm interested in how these tours are gonna selectively get the guys like that they need back in. Cam Smith, Rom, like how do you get the Neiman? How do you get these
How do
guys?
you be
How do you
selective
get these guys back
without
in through like wild
Mhm.
cards or whatever? This idea of like getting Slater back
Yeah.
on the tour, but then not making sure you don't let some of these other guys back on.
Yeah. Well, if any game can do that, it's golf. It's an etiquette game and they can bend rules. It's like there's rules all over the place, but they're only needed when someone or something
I mean, this whole
is
Rory playing
breaking
only
them.
14 doesn't play
That
15 events, and he's
that's kind
not
of my
gonna.
point.
And I guarantee you, he's not gonna lose his PGA status next year.
Yeah.
It speaks to exactly what you're saying. It's like, well, he gets the hardship medical exception. It's like, well, for what? It's like, dude, that's none of our business, man. Like, don't
Yeah,
worry
it's
about
actually
it.
private.
That's a private
It's
matter, but we gave him the exemption, and he was only one event short. Like he played St. Jude. We called him and told him he's got to play
yeah.
FedEx St. Jude. Like,
That's why I think golf is the if there is a sport that can figure out a way to get the right guys back in, it'll
well, the
be golf.
funniest is
Now,
the Brooks Koepka. They're like, we're
mhm.
opening a window for 2 weeks, and then it's like all they have to do is be like not open the email from the guy that sends the application and be like, oh, you just missed it by a day, man. Like that's what you're kind of getting at, is like golf can just make rules and then selectively decide who to enforce them on / use the loopholes of the rule.
Yeah.
And then be like, oh, now that's over. Sorry. Like they can really decide, same thing with like Wesley Bryan. Like they're going to keep enforcing him for playing in a live scramble or something. He played in like one live scramble event without getting permission, a waiver from the PGA. And then they were like, oh, sorry, man, you get kicked out of the tour. They're like, we didn't really, there's something not political, but there's something, I guess in the corporate sense of the word political, there's something going on there where they were like, someone in the PGA was like, hey, F that guy. He's never coming back, and like I'll make sure of it as long as I live. And they're like, okay, cool, we'll just force this rule on him because he played one live scramble YouTube event.
Because he was it's
live affiliated,
I'm telling you.
And they're like, yeah, that you weren't allowed to do that. You didn't get a waiver, so we're allowed to ban you. And he's tried as hard as he can. Like there's like change.org like things with like millions of signatures. The PGA is like, don't need them, doesn't matter. like, So yeah, I think you're right. The PGA Tour, is a cartel. Golf is a cartel at the end of the day. I mean, in a weird way.
I think so. I think it's private. The fact that it comes from the private club mentality is what
it's hard to
kind of
shake
causes that. Yeah, it's very hard, especially when they all exist. And
speaking of private clubs, our final story of the night is. Fake hole-in-one guy. This guy, this guy, and I feel bad that like his name. I've been reading a lot of comments and his name's out there, and like he's fully doxxed. I mean, which I understand, but it's still also like kind of gnarly, like to see a guy get like because I just feel like he can't, like he closed all of his social media accounts and stuff, like, but he broke a cardinal. I'll be honest, you should get doxxed if you break this cardinal rule. Lying about a hole-in-one? Are you fucking kidding me, man? Like, do not lie about a hole-in-one. Like, what is wrong with you? It's like the most sacred thing. I have 2 in my life, and it's like, it almost makes me be like, were those real? Like, because his wasn't. Like, were mine real? It's like, God, I had witnesses, right? He didn't have a witness. It's just such a funky story. This guy at this private club, member. Their yearly annual championship. He gets there at like 5 a.m. and plants a ball in hole 4, and he knows the shotgun order. So they're the first group that's going to hit it. Tells his group that his grandfather or grandmother is sick in the hospital and he needs to take a phone call. It's like, first of all, man, that's too much information. It's like, sure, go take the call. He finishes the hole. He goes, I'm going to just go tee off. And then they roll up to the hole, and they go, how was it? And he's like, I don't know. I hit it up there. I saw a little divot. It looked pretty good. I don't know. They roll up, and then he lets the other guys in the group go, dude, it's in the hole. He goes, oh, my God. They start filming. They realize no one saw the shot. He never hit the shot. Never even swung the club. Claims hole-in-one, pre-placed it. Goes back. They have the picture of the scorecard. More pictures have come out. So I saw some screenshot of a surveillance video. I don't know. A lot of the videos coming out are staged. I'm realizing it's like a stage. It's all staged. Like there actually wasn't. I don't even know if there was video of all this, but
probably not.
You don't really know anymore because it's like if you make a stage video, you'll get 100K hits. So it's like you might as well stage it. We should just make fake staged videos off any news story. And it'll get 100K, a million views.
A reenactment.
Yeah, and at the bottom, you don't even have to put reenactment these days. That's what's funny.
No,
it's like,
everything's fake. It's kind of sad when you're scrolling and you're just like, and it's not even is this AI fake, but then there's like is this fiction or is this nonfiction? Like, we have to ask that every time we see a video.
Yeah, I know that's the world we live in now,
absurd.
Man. Yeah. So it's like I think the story's real though. That's what's cool though about doxing people, because then you know it's real. So you almost have to have a doxed person to be like, it is. Oh my God, it is real. He like has a real job. Like he's a real. I found him on LinkedIn. Like, oh my God, he's real.
I can message this guy.
Yeah,
and
Or I went on Wayback Machine and I found his LinkedIn. Because it's deleted now, but it's like, I found it from last month. Like. But no, apparently he had handicap sandbagging issues like 2-3 years ago. The stories come out of the woodworks about these guys. These guys are ultimately sandbaggers. Let's be honest. These people are sandbaggers, and they're just looking for new ways to sandbag. And his new idea was, I'm going to fake a hole in one. And what was the pot? It was like $2,500 or something. Like, it wasn't that much to lose his livelihood over.
No.
So I know. I hope. I honestly don't want. Like, I hate the idea of like putting a guy that deep, on like grilling someone that bad on social media. But you shouldn't break the cardinal sin of faking a hole in one. It's just too bad of a lie. Like, I get it. Miller kicks his ball. That's pretty bad. Like, that's pretty. I thought that was like bad. And then it's like, dude, you're gonna fake a hole in one and like act like you're, like, who are you, man? Like, who do you think you are?
I mean, that is like mastermind trying to try to fake the win like that. Like, that is
like, are you in like
breaking
are
two
you
rules
in
at
like
once.
massive amount of gambling debt? Like, that you need, like, do you need the money that bad to fake a hole in one to win money? Because the problem is it's an easy way. So another thing I wanted to bring up too is when you play a tournament and they have a hole in one prize. I've been at Pelican. I've caddied, I should say. I wasn't lucky enough to play in them, but I've caddied events at Pelican where there's a witness because they hired an insurance. You can get an insurance policy for a hole-in-one contest, right? That's how you actually do, like, when you win a car for a hole-in-one, a person shows up who's paid. They stand there like, hey, how you guys doing? How you guys doing? Like, what up? You're like, hey, and then you realize, oh, that's the hole-in-one witness. Okay, got it. And they just watch all your shots. They're just seeing, did he hit 2 tee shots? Okay, that doesn't count. Is it his first tee shot? Did it go in? And then if it goes in, he's the witness, and the insurance company is like, thanks, man. Like, we're gonna have to pay out the policy. Like, so you can open up an insurance policy on a hole-in-one contest, and that's how that business works for those.
I see, and you can
those
run
corporate
the
events.
hole-in-one to get people to be like, oh, sick. Let me.
I could win. I could win
$20 in.
$20,000. I could win this car that's $70K, whatever.
Got it. Because we all know how rare hole-in-ones are. So then they just have that insurance policy, and they're paying a premium that is way less than the total policy. Like, it's a win-win for everyone.
It really is, until someone gets the hole-in-one, and then the witness goes.
But then it's a win for that guy.
Then the witness attests, right? But the 100 other tournaments they ran that year paid for that policy, right?
Exactly.
For that insurance policy, because they know there's only going to be, and that's how actually all of insurance works, right? Like, there's like, when you buy insurance, it's actually some people in Switzerland, like in Zurich, that are looking deep into recent hurricane activity in Florida and zip codes, and they're going, yeah, there's probably going to be one that hits there like in the next 5 years. Like, we're going to smoke them. Like, and then they're like, those other sub companies are like, yeah, we're going to pull coverage this year. It's like because the big math guy knows what's going to happen. Like, it's all research. I mean, that's what it all comes down to. So the hole-in-one stuff, though, there's not much research you need to do on hole-in-ones. It's like there's these amateurs out there that are going to try to get a hole-in-one. Okay, like,
yeah, that's really interesting to understand. And yeah, the witness makes sense. That's the only guy you hire as the insurance company.
But he literally stands there the whole day to prevent what happened at this club championship.
Exactly.
For him to fake a hole-in-one. But it's it's a funny story. But I'm almost like not surprised. I'm like, dude, that's probably happened like a ton of times. Like, anytime you give money for something, that's why these scramble tournaments, we almost never trust. You've seen those viral videos where like the group shot, like, it's almost like they didn't know golf enough, so they shot minus 40 or something. It's like, that's not possible. It's like,
well, it goes back to the pride versus like, money needs to be removed from so many things because it causes bad behavior. Because especially in these times right now, like, people need money, and people are going to do a lot for it. Right. So if we turn the prize into pride and a trophy and things that you can't really sell,
well,
then
look, man,
you'll at least remove the cheating.
I don't know, man. I mean, you can't let that. You can't put that. What do they say? You can't put that genie back in the bottle. At a certain
agree.
point.
I mean, I agree that. No, come on.
There's always going to be uh, one person or someone that thinks they're smarter than the system, and you know, but like I said, there's systems um, made established systems that prevent, like the witness. It's like pretty simple. It's like have a witness, and then you just prevent that from happening.
Yeah.
So it's like that club should have really, if they're gonna run a hole-in-one contest, have a guy standing there. I don't care if he's like, you know, smoking cigars, sipping bourbon. Like, have a guy standing there who's like a trusted person that's gonna, you know, instead of just saying hole-in-one contest. I mean, that's like asking for it. I remember that Blue Ridge Mountain that we played had a camera.
Yeah,
You would sign up on the app, pay $5, and they had a always running camera, and you could pay $5 and win. Like, what was it? It was like $10,000, I think, that you could win.
It was obviously the insurance thing with a camera.
Yeah.
And so interesting because you could do it as many times as you wanted, I think.
Well, no, did we play the course twice? I think so that we could.
Did.
No, I don't think you could do it. You couldn't do it as many
twice.
times as you wanted. You could do it for each tee time.
Once a day or something.
Yeah, so we played it again.
Differently.
We played it again to run it again, I think, to try to win the 10K. But there's a camera on it, so you just know that if you make it, you're going to like call the number or whatever, and they're going to look at the camera.
And then you have freaking proof. That's awesome.
But we were entering our credit card in some random ass app, giving them $5-10 because we were like, oh, hole-in-one contest? Hell yeah. So, but that's supposedly there was a camera on the parking lot next to the hole, and that's where they saw him come at 5 a.m. I don't think there was cameras on the green. I think that was a reenactment that I saw. So who knows what actually happened. But this guy got the shit doxed out of him. I'll tell you that. Don't fake a hole-in-one. Moral of the story.
Moral of the story today for the pod is, hey, I think the people who were villains or are villains, I think we might be beating them up a little bit too much. But on the reverse side of that, you know, thinking the live golfers, like all these people who did bad things.
It makes you wonder, is this golf world that we've entered with this pod?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know. Like,
Sorry,
is it just
talking about the golf world.
No, I'm saying general. is the golf world this kind of golf critique world that we're in? Are they just looking to grill cheaters and stuff, which is probably righteous at the end of the day. But it's just so funny. I feel like those stories just explode. Like anytime someone cheats, like the Bryson cheating, or getting a rules infraction. Patrick Reed is like never considered the same man again, and then the stories pop up from the past. So it's like golf. That I guess that's the beauty of golf, is that it's like it you know, it shows
breaks us down.
It will break
who you are.
Right. Right. What game does that? You know, or at least what game is talked about that much that does that?
Yeah.
You know. I'm sure ping pong breaks a man down, but it's like no one's talking about it.
Well, nobody's cheating in ping pong in a way that's so unfair. Because golf, the fact that one stroke wins you a tournament is like, wow.
Well, I'll tell you how you cheat in ping pong. You throw games, so you cheat with the other guy.
Oh, right.
So in ping pong, you go like, people are betting on us, and you go like, all right, like I'll go down 10-1, and then let me come back, 13-10. Like I'll win every point after. So it happens. Cheating happens in every sport, but golf, the nature of how it's individual, is changes it a little because
it's the fact that we can blame it right on that guy.
And that it's somewhat subjective to a degree. Like maybe that guy could be like on his deathbed, I made the hole-in-one, you motherfuckers. it's like
we've talked about
you
that.
Didn't.
If no one is there, what is it? If a rules official isn't there, it's kind of up to the group to agree on it.
Well, yeah, that too. But it also, that's what's so weird about golf is there's no referee. Like when we all play,
it's a game of honor.
There's no referee, and that makes it somewhat unique.
I think, it's probably one of the few sports where in a tournament there's no ref.
Because you have soccer, everyone's trying to fall and fake they broke their leg to get the ref to agree. It's like,
cheating
dude,
is part of the
what
game.
are you in golf? Are you gonna fake like an injury? It's like, dude, good for you. Like, you want to make that? You want to putt, man? Like,
I think you need to put that one in, man.
Yeah, it's like I don't care if you're injured. You're not like I didn't hurt you, and I'm also not playing against you. That's one thing Coach told me today. He's like, like you get so competitive. You got to remember you're playing against yourself. And I'm like, fuck,
Hmm.
that's kind of right. But I channel both. But the more
Yeah.
I focus on playing myself, I'll probably get lower. You know,
Yeah. I mean, what does playing yourself mean? It's really, I don't know
with
if it's
playing
being
your
critic.
brain, it's playing your brain.
Yeah. It's like having some kind of critical decision process to where like you are actually talking to yourself in a sense.
Well, it's more. It's
Um,
going like, okay, the 10. I doubled 12 because I went in the bunker, the fairway bunker, because I hit driver because I thought the
mhm.
hole was so long,
Yeah.
and it's like bring that line back 10 yards with the 3-wood, 15 yards with the 3-wood, and that bunker is not in play, and
Yeah.
then guess what? You can hit a 7-iron also for the next shot. You don't need a
Right.
9
No.
like at
Uh,
all.
my thought that I just had was this Alan Watts video, big guy on Zen philosophy, was mentioning how like feelings, we are not in control of them, right? Like if you try to think
Mm.
about any feeling, like it just kind of hits you when you see stuff. You don't really like, yeah, you can focus, but you don't really look. You're when you hear stuff, that you just hear it. And on the golf course, I think when you're fighting yourself or competing against yourself, it is just you're trying to combat those natural feelings that occur and control them. And it's very hard to control because it takes like some higher level of thinking or process. So, yeah, when you're on that course, you're playing against the feelings of yourself because you can think through the way, but as feelings encroach,
Mm.
the thinking starts to get clouded and you start making decisions that like might not make sense to a different feel
Those are the
mind.
hurdles that pop
Right.
that you gotta, in
And
the
that's what you have
video
to worry about,
in the
not the
video
guy
game,
over
you gotta
there.
press the button to jump over them, you know,
Right. Yep.
and you don't know
Like,
what the video game is
oh my
coming
gosh.
in your head necessarily.
Yeah. You can only see maybe one shot ahead max.
Right?
You can
Yeah, yeah,
plan one shot ahead, kind of, maybe two shots ahead.
yeah.
But other than that, you
Right.
don't know.
Imagine if you knew hole 3 you were gonna do dot dot dot, but you're on hole 1. It's like no, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
And
So,
then sadly or realistically, what you're gonna do on hole 3 is so related to how you feel on 1.
yeah,
Which is
exactly.
that's what ends up happening, which is so effed up.
It's
Because you could
freaking
have all
hard.
these plans in your head, but then you felt something because you 3-putted 1, and then you all of a sudden are doing something on 3 that's either good or bad result.
Right.
So
Oh
you could have
man.
whatever plan you want, but hey,
The
man,
Mike Tyson quote.
yeah, straight
That's
up,
a good one.
straight up. Uh, yeah, well,
But cool.
ladies and gentlemen, that is the OG Pod number 45, streaming live on YouTube. What's up, everyone out there? Thanks for tuning in.
Wow, 7 weeks away from the end of October. That sounds crazy to me. I guess.
I don't know how you figured that out all of a sudden, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We're almost to a year though. Pretty cool.
Oh, you're thinking of November. I see.
Yeah.
Or last day of October, right? Right. KCon's birthday. Yeah, I just beat KCon the last 2 times I've played him. I beat him straight
I
up.
know. That's pretty sick.
So that's how you know you're doing something right, or he's doing something wrong. I don't know. It's one or the other.
He'll find it. He's gonna peak at the right time. So
Yeah, but I mean, when
should
you
be a.
compare yourself to only one person, you don't know which side it's on. To be honest.
Yeah. True.
But, but you still smoked me by 10 strokes when we played last.
I did
That's a
play very
proper.
well.
We were
So
like tied the first like 6-7 holes too. So I mean, you spanked me
yeah,
on the
it
last
was a
10.
great
Got 10
match.
strokes back within like 12 holes. It was like insane. Birdied. What'd you birdie 6 of 9 on the back?
6 of the back 9.
I've never seen
Yeah,
that, Andrew. That was impressive.
that was a lot of perfect execution, perfect club choice.
And it
when
didn't
I
feel. I didn't feel like it didn't feel like a miracle or anything.
no, it was
At
like
all.
some of the most simple
Yeah.
way to do it. Like there was just it was like, okay, yeah, you put the ball in the spot that you always want to put it there, but every time you play hole number 11 downwind, I freaking put it not there. And so
Right.
you don't birdie.
I
So
heard a
it's
great. I'll close with a great quote from the surfer Koa on WSL. He's like, they're like you. I think that's his name. Anyways, this guy got a perfect 10 yesterday, and in a
mhm.
heat, and he's in a heat today, and he advanced. And they're like, were you worried about like letting that get into your head? And he just said it so perfectly. He's like, yeah, it's easy to fall into replaying the past, and like that's how I've felt ever since Sunday. I'm like replaying that round in my head. He's like, I'm just really trying to get back into the flow state, into that state of
Yeah.
flow. And so it's like you can't when you play a super good round, it's like you almost have to just be like, that was a great flow state, man, good job, like acknowledge that like you did good flow state. But it's like, don't live in the past, just get back into that flow state as soon as possible on your next
Yeah.
heat, on your next round, whatever it may be. And then ends up advancing.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah,
damn,
that
it's so easy to live in the past and relive these great, feelings,
I know. Yep. We all do it. Golf is one of those games that will do that to you. Surfing a great wave, same thing. Obviously, we're not doing it competitively.
And look, you can do it for pleasure, relive it all you want, but with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
second
yeah.
you start that next endeavor, it's like you that's out of the
Empty your
that's gone,
mind.
dude. Like, yeah, you
Yeah.
have to get back into flow state, and nothing about flow state is thinking about the past,
Yep.
right? I
Yeah.
mean, at the end of the day,
That interview was great. I saw that as well.
you saw that, right? Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't that hilarious? I was watching. I go, I want
What a
to
great
quote this, and I'm glad you did.
dude. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, damn, like that's so good.
Yeah, I
I'm
was
like,
like, if Kevin's watching this, he's thinking the same shit.
because I've been replaying my Sunday round in my head like crazy, and like now I'm realizing, okay, like the next time you tee it up, you're not allowed to think about like this. That's done, man. File
Yeah,
it.
well, I've gotten to the point where one day after a 68, I forgot it existed.
Well, but I think you
So,
do need to remember the flow state. Like it's not forgetting about it completely.
yeah,
It's remembering what the state felt like, what the state
but that's a
of mind felt
feel.
like.
So, going final thing, and then we
That's
have to
true.
go.
You got to find it. Yeah,
Um,
that's true. It's not a
but
memory. I know what you
the
mean.
Zen mindset, yeah, this is a feeling. You
Yeah.
can't control that. So the fact that you're even trying to
Mm,
put words to it
right.
is something that Alan Watts would be like, "What are you doing?
I see.
You're trying to put this conceptual thing
You can't control
that has
the
no
feelings,
connection.
right? Mm,
Your thoughts have no connection.
right.
Anyone who has anxiety knows that there's nothing anyone or there's nothing
Can do
they
to
can
control
tell
that.
themselves like to control it. Yeah, no,
Right.
exactly. So flow state is a positive version of focus. Anxiety is just kind of like the energy, right? So you could have high energy with a lot of focus, and that's kind of flow.
Mm,
Um, so to get there, there's different pathways, but it just happens
I
with
see.
these little steps. So to find it, what stats, like the Tiger stats, what things can you do in the first 5 holes
That you can
to
control.
enter that you can't control, that by being smart on the golf course you can control,
Right.
and then result in start positive momentum
Yes.
and getting
Yes.
in the flow.
Yes. Hey, man. We could go on literally
Yep.
until 6 a.m. Me and you could. That's for damn sure. That's welcome to Golf in the Cosmos, everyone. That's what it's all about. But Andrew, it was a pleasure. And I think we'll have some more guests back next week. Possibly some people, the Dutchman might be with us next week as
That'd be
well.
cool.
We'll see if he wants to talk about golf or life. What's the difference, right? But
Yep.
we will see where we're at. But hey, man, it was good catching up with you, man.
Yeah,
I'm stoked
you
to play
too.
some golf when I get back from overseas.
Yeah, have a great trip.
Also, check out the
Enjoy.
new shirts, guys. The Point Cosmos golf surf. The back has like a surfboard on it. It's pretty cool. We got into the Cosmos Golf clothing brand is expanding. Some new shirts are hitting the website. Check these puppies out.
Yeah,
Let me
that
see
one's
if I can.
sick.
Yeah. Let's see if I can show the back real quick here. If
Oh yeah.
I can see it here.
Nice.
There we
Oh, the
go.
pink lettering's cool.
Yeah. A couple different colors, guys. But check out golfonthecosmos.com. Sign up for the newsletter to get picks sent to you, especially for the playoffs. If you're trying to get an edge on the PGA playoffs, sign up for Golf in the Cosmos picks. Okay, you get them emailed to you every week. It's super well researched, top notch picks. I mean, if we're gonna run all the numbers, but it's like these picks would make you money. It's giving you research, and you can kind of pick your angles on it. But at the end of the day, golfinthecosmos.com, check it out. Part 2 Jurassic Cup should be coming out possibly in the next couple days. I got a long plane flight ahead of me, so that's the plan. Yeah, it's a really good ending too. I don't think people know exactly what happens at the end, but I'll just say it goes to a playoff at the end.
Such a sick ending.
Yeah. But you guys follow, subscribe on YouTube. We need more YouTube subscribers. It's growing fast, but if you're listening and you're not subscribed on YouTube, you really need to be. If you've been listening this long to this pod and you haven't subscribed on YouTube, I don't care if you watch a video, just subscribe because that helps us greatly, especially when we get like our bigger videos coming in the future. We got a lot of cool stuff planned for YouTube as well. But thanks for tuning into the pod, everyone. Andrew, I'll see you on the links.
Peace.